today has been great. Peter and the other member of the board will attest to. We've built it to a point where we just keep going. Okay, so I thank everyone this evening for being here and enjoying this beautiful venue. I thank you, and let me introduce to Peter Veliceres, our Executive Director, and he'll walk you through our programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. You know, this is really beautiful today. So I have to give a shout out to Tommy Manikas. You killed it, my boy. It's just fabulous. And the food, John from Concord, is outrageously good. Absolutely killed it. Thank you. I've been blessed to be the executive director of the Hellenic Foundation for the past 11 years. We have ended each year with a re-examination based on 3 questions. How effective are our programs? How relevant is the foundation? And was there any joy derived from foundation activities? For the first couple of years, we had no viable programs. No one knew who we were or what we did. And any joy from our activities? Not so much. But what there was opportunity. Our board reviewed the landscape of the Greek community in Chicago, the organizations, the Chicago diocese at that time, the churches, the Philoptikos, all focused on their missions and programs, working separately and independently. There was no unifying force in our community. The board realized that there was an opportunity for the Hellenic Foundation to play that role. How realistic was this for Little Hellenic? No programs, no one knew who we were or what we did after the sale of Hollywood House. All we had was the money that was left from the sale. Did not matter. There was opportunity. You know, when you have a group of Greek businessmen, what more could you ask for than that? Let's fast forward to today. How's Hellenic doing this year? Our grant program has exploded. As Jim mentioned, this year's 2024 grant program awarded 43 grants, totaling $573,000. Tonight, you will see and hear about some of those grant award programs. If you're not already, please take the time to go through the program book and to watch the video clips on each of the 4 TVs around the room after the program. They will provide insight on all of this year's grant recipients. Since 2016, the Hellenic Foundation has given out 175 grant awards. What's really important, though, and why you are here this evening, is that virtually every one of those grant awards, including yours, directly benefit our community. That's why the Hellenic Foundation grant program, through you, has had so much impact in our community. In addition, when the room is filled with organizations and individuals who share the same interests, there are wonderful opportunities for sharing ideas and collaborating. That wonderful word, opportunities. It has to be Greek. Let me share an example of families with special, Families with special needs are an important concern in our community. Last year, Hellenic funded the interfacing of Metropolis's Pick Up Your Cross ministry with St. John's outstanding Team Belong program. Doing so provided the opportunity for a combined calendar of events supporting both programs. This year, through the efforts of Presbytera Mary Granius, the Center for Enriched Living programs were added. Then we collaborated with Kostas Zogafopoulos and his Z Life programs. The result is a portfolio of programs for this important ministry. Do you have any idea how much joy this creates for us? The Hellenic Foundation's mission has always been based on philanthropy. What began as referral efforts, our work with the Metropolis Philoptikos Philanthropy Committee has evolved into a partnership that is truly cherished. The Metropolis Philoptikos Board, with its president, Kathy Katrakis, are present here tonight. It's just not our efforts that are intertwined with the Philoptikos. Our staff includes Kathy Stamatis, a member of the Metropolis Philoptikos Executive Committee, Tasia Fasos, president of St. Demetrius Chicago's Philoptikos chapter. Dorothy Theodosis is a member of the Annunciation Philoptikos chapter. Joanne Stavrakis, a Hellenic Foundation board member, is past president of the Metropolis Philoptikos Board, a member of the National Philoptikos Board, and serves on the Metropolis Philoptikos Philanthropy Committee. Together, we shelter, we clothe, we feed individuals in critical situations, and when needed, we bury members of our community when there are no funds or someone to do it for them. Helen Theodosikis was one of the founders of the Metropolis Philoptikos Philanthropy Committee and chaired that committee for 4 decades. She taught me what was required when we needed to bury someone, and that our responsibilities did not stop when the funeral arrangements were completed. Helen taught me that no one should be buried alone. If there were no family or friends, we needed to be there. This year we lost Helen Theodosikis. May her memory be eternal. At this time, it's fitting that we invite Kathy Savelis to receive a plaque honoring Helen's memory. Like Helen, Kathy chairs the Philanthropy Committee, and as with Helen, the number of hours that Kathy commits to the needs of those in critical situations are staggering. Kathy has picked up Helen's mantle as a guardian angel in our community. Thank you, Kathy, for all that you do for us. Jim, our work with the Philoptikos is not the only area in which Hellenic is evolving. The next progression for the Foundation's activities is through the Hellenic initiatives. Although the Hellenic Foundation's grant program has awarded over $3.4 million, Hellenic has the financial stability and capacity to do more. We have the opportunity, that Greek word, to create and fund more programs outside the grant program cycle. We created and funded the Golden Circle Senior Bus Program on an annual basis. We created OCF Chicago, the Campus Ministry Program. This year we added the Hearing Loop Program, and you will hear more about this in the program tonight. And now we have started to partner with organizations and individuals who share our interests and love for our community. The seed for the Hellenic Initiative Partnerships was planted in 2015 when the Hellenic Foundation partnered with the Hellenic Bar Association to create HELAS, the Pro Bono Legal Assistance Program. In addition, through the efforts of Demetra Anderson and the Anderson Law Office, we have partnered with Diane Alexander White, representing the Olga Kenningberg Caesar estate, and its donation given to the Hellenic Foundation to create the Shelter Impact Program. This program provides shelters for women and seniors in critical situations. Through this program, we are currently sheltering 2 individuals during this winter season. In partnership with Orthodox Ministry Services, the Orthodox Youth Ministries, a program approved by the Canonical Assembly of Orthodox Bishops, will be piloted in the Chicago area. And I'm happy to announce tonight our newest initiative. In partnership with Dr. Peter Panton, an Assumption past president, an outreach scholarship program is being created through the efforts of the Chicago police officers from the City of Chicago's 15th District and Father Apostolos Georgiafentis, the Proistamino at Assumption, and Christina Evanaitis of Assumption's outreach program. This initiative honors what is being accomplished through the Assumption Outreach Program's weekly after-school mentorship program at the 15th District Station. When you see Father Apostolos with his arms around the kids, when you see the kids, big and little, hugging Christina, Father Apostolos and Christina are not just feeding their neighbor, they're loving their neighbor, and their neighbor loves them. These initiative programs are so important. Hellenic wants to ensure the funds for those programs are available for them to realize their full potential. This is an additional commitment of over $400,000 over and above the grant program. Through the programs funded by grant awards and Hellenic initiatives, something very interesting is evolving. Father Nicholas Solik is here for the OCA Thriving in Ministries program. Father Nick Anton is representing the Canonical Assembly of Bishops in its Peace of Mind program. Chris Crampy, president of the Orthodox Youth Ministry, is here. Then there's OCF Chicago, O Camper, and Father John Parker, the dean of St. Tikhon's Seminary, is here for the prison ministry program. All are pan-Orthodox programs. Please read about them in your program books. These are programs that provide opportunities for the priests, presbyteras, and youth from the Chicago's Orthodox jurisdictions to interact with each other. There is nothing anywhere in this country happening like this. Have I mentioned how fun this is? Have I mentioned that the Hellenic Foundation is self-funded? No fundraising events, no solicitation of donations, no board member contributions. And that the Hellenic Foundation can fund its grants and initiative programs indefinitely. Have I mentioned that this is half of what the Hellenic Foundation does? Through the Illinois Department on Aging's Community Care Program, the Hellenic Foundation provides in-home care on a daily basis to over 300 seniors and employs 285 staff and home care aides. Our staff here this evening is multicultural and speaks 9 languages. I speak Chicago West Side English. I cannot overstate how important the community care program is to our community. I cannot overstate how important the program is to the Hellenic Foundation. That's why it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mary Kilo, the director of the Illinois Department on Aging, who traveled from Springfield this afternoon to be here this evening. Please welcome Director Kilo.
Thank you, Peter. That's a warm welcome. What he didn't mention is I actually live in this area. I just was in Springfield earlier today. But it's my pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be a guest here today. And I first want to recognize all the distinguished guests that were mentioned earlier, as well as the awardees. I want to give a round of applause. That was so exciting to hear about that. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Department on Aging, it's a large state agency. We operate programs to keep older adults in their homes, and that's through state funds like the Community Care Program, as well as federal funds. The Department on Aging has a budget of approaching $2 billion of state funds that are being used to care for older adults in Illinois. And I have the pleasure to work with Peter on a regular basis. And he asked me, would you come? I'm like, of course I would come. But I think it's important for you to know it's not just a passion, as he indicated through his speech, but he actually participates in the running of the program. And not every organization does that. And what do I mean by that? He participates in the advisory councils to help run the program, the community care program, to make it the best program it could possibly be. He represents you all well, and he's an advocate for older adults here in Illinois. So it's a pleasure to work with him. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's my first time here. I'm a relatively new director since March of this year. But prior to that, I worked for the department, and I never had an opportunity to be here. So I'm very happy to be here today. And it's great to hear all the great things that are happening as a result of the community care program and the monies received for that. So thank you for that. And I can't wait to hear. Thank you.
It's amazing what can be accomplished when you have opportunity. Because of the opportunity to support your programs and the opportunity to part with you, 2024 has been the best year ever for the Hellenic Foundation. However, given the new opportunities created through our initiatives and partnerships, it's almost as good as next year. God bless all of you. At this time, I wish to introduce Bill J. Vranis, a member of the Hellenic's Executive Committee and past president, to talk further about the terrific Hearing Loop program. Thank you.
This is a very quiet crowd, which is great. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Well, I can hear you now better than I would have heard you last year because I started wearing hearing aids. It all started last year when with my annual visit with my general practitioner. My doctor recommended I see an audiologist, and with full agreement with my wife, of course, I went. I think I was really set up. After the doctor's visit, I decided I would research and learn as much as possible to find the best hearing aids for me. I then made appointments with 3 audiologists, not just one, but 3 that I was referred to. All 3 of the appointments, I discovered the same from each of them. And I'm going to number these, being an accountant. 1, hearing loss can cause dementia. 2, it can cause loss of word comprehension. 3, the longer you wait in getting hearing aids, the worse your hearing becomes. 4, any loss you already have becomes irreversible. It also causes social isolation with friends. If you have signs of hearing loss, like I did, and I kept saying, what did he say? What did she say? Please make an appointment with an audiologist. I am a steward of the Assumption Greek Orthodox Church of Chicago. Assumption Church was the first Greek Orthodox church in our metropolis to install the hearing loop system many years ago. Anyone who uses hearing aids has the ability to use the hearing loop system by flipping a switch and immediately connect directly to the speaker so the background noise is completely eliminated. Over the past year, Since wearing hearing aids and connecting to the hearing loop system, I have enjoyed hearing, one, our church service directly from the priest's microphone. I could hear every word clearly during the service, and I could also hear the priest's sermon without ever dozing off. Two, at a live performance, I now hear and I believe each performer is performing and singing to me personally. Three, at home, I no longer need to raise the television volume to hear, as well as not disturbing my neighbors by keeping it so loud. I shared my enthusiasm at one of our Hellenic Foundation board meetings. This discussion ended up becoming an initiative to the Greek Orthodox parishes to be able to assist all of those who were wearing or hearing, they have hearing impairment, to enjoy the full service. If you currently have hearing issues, like I've said, during your church service and you do not have hearing aids, and your parish has the hearing aids system, we have 9 of them in our metropolis, 8 of them in our metropolis right now, and your parish has the hearing loop system, please ask your parish to lend you a headset so you can hear what you are missing. You can now understand why I was asked to introduce the following hearing loop video. Thank you for hearing me. Have a blessed Christmas season.
Hearing aids work great when this distance. They're awesome. That's what they're designed for. They're wonderful for that. Where they don't work so well is in a room like this, when you're further away from the sound source. Because then all you're hearing is really more of the room. You're hearing the reverberation, sound bouncing off the wall, those echoes. And so your hearing aid can't really tell the difference of it. It's not smart. The best example I have for you is out like this. So you know how you can hear more of the room now? That's kind of what a hearing aid's like. Really, hearing aids, if you're sitting this row, think it's just a microphone on your ear.
We recently installed a hearing loop system thanks to the generosity of the Hellenic Foundation. It can be difficult to hear divine liturgy, especially because the Chicago L runs directly behind the church, and it can overwhelm anything that is happening in the nave. But with this, the ambient sound of that, from the L tracks to the rustling of the Sunday bulletin, is cut out, and you can focus on the words and the prayer that is being given. You are with a church full of worshipers, but with this clarity, it's as if you are alone with your priest and God.
Miracles happen every day, and I have heard through parishioners that this has enhanced their ability to take part and to focus better with the divine liturgy and with the services that are taking place. And we'd like to take the opportunity to thank the Hellenic Foundation for their generosity in helping us better serve our people with the hearing loop system.
The hearing loop makes an incredible difference. And we've seen that firsthand. We've been with people when they've had their telequos first active, and I've literally had multiple people come to tears right in front of me. And when that happens to you and you understand what difference you're really making for people, it's hard not to feel a strong emotional desire just to keep on going.
A lot of times you will see hearing loops in house of worship. You'll see them in theaters. You'll see it in libraries. Sometimes you'll even see it at ticket counters for like that small one-on-one, but where it's a noisy background, it allows them to have a faster and more efficient interaction and not have to worry about too much going on and they can't understand what's being said to them.
I just can't be appreciative enough of the Hellenic Foundation for stepping up and funding this wonderful, wonderful mechanism that is helping me and others enjoy the liturgy more, enjoy the sermons more, and have a more fulfilling church experience.
To hear the words that are said is something everyone should be able to have access to. They see that hearing loop sign, they know they're going to have great sound.
My name is Peter Veloceros. I'm the Executive Director of the Hellenic Foundation. The Hellenic Foundation has the ability to fund and support programs over and above its grant programs because of their importance and their impact on our community. The Hearing Loop program is such a program. As a result, the Hellenic Foundation is committed to introducing this program to the 20+ Greek Orthodox churches in the Chicagoland area at a cost of over $300,000. That's the importance, that's the significance of this program and commitment of the Hellenic Foundation.
What a phenomenal program, and what an asset for anyone who attends church. I mean, it is phenomenal. We have it at St. Demetrius in Chicago, and people are really enjoying it. And there is actually, we are set up here. So if you do have hearing aids, you can loop in and listen to us, no pun intended. At this time, I would like to introduce our communications manager and a close friend, Miss Kathy Stamatis.
Thank you, Judge Tony. I'm honored to introduce our next video presentation. The college years are a pivotal time for young people, especially when it comes to staying connected to your faith. That's where the Orthodox Christian Fellowship chapters all across the country come in. The mission of OCF is to cultivate the Orthodox Christian life in the hearts, minds, and souls of college students, and supporting their spiritual journey on campuses all across North America. In 2022, the Hellenic Foundation took important steps by launching OCF Chicago, a centralized college ministry serving OCF chapters throughout the Chicagoland area. Under the leadership and guidance of Father Athanasios Menetos, who's here this evening, OCF Chicago has become a central gathering place for students from various universities: Loyola, DePaul, Northwestern, University of Chicago, Elmhurst, North Park, Lake Forest, and others. We are incredibly proud to support this impactful ministry, one that nurtures Orthodox college students in their engagement with their faith while building lasting social connections with their peers. Because of the significance and the difference it is making, we are excited to announce that we have moved OCF Chicago out of our grant program and into its own dedicated Hellenic Foundation Initiative program. So with that, let's take a look at some footage from a recent OCF outing where they teamed up with the OCF at the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana for a beautiful day on Lake Michigan.
Hi, my name is Christos Kyriakopoulos.
And I'm Father Athanasios.
And we're in the beautiful city of Chicago here on our OCF Illinois, OCF Chicago boat cruise.
Got a car, tell me where you want to go. We can chase the sun down south to Mexico. Got them sounds.
It's our first ever event. This is former President Yanni Laros.
Hey guys, we'd like to thank the Hellenic Foundation for
the
helping us
Hellenic
out.
Foundation has done an incredible amount of work for us. I mean, if you come down to the Nika House in Champaign, you'll see it, and they've done a great amount of work for us.
It's important because you go to college and you're really challenged with the faith. You can move away from the faith, but you create a community you have a home, and if something happens within your family, or you need to study for an exam, or you just need someone to hang out with, and you'd go to church, and you go to basketball games, and you pray together, and you go to the quad together, and you go on trips together, and it's unbelievable.
Overall, I mean, your entire journey through college, through life, especially when if it comes to your relationship with Christ, with anything, it really is. It's a journey. It's like the boat's called. It's an odyssey. You're trying to figure out your way back home, and the way back home is through the church. It's through the faith. But you might have these periods where you stop. You have these periods where you don't believe as strictly. You don't pray as often as you think. But at the end of the day, it's still a journey to go back to Christ.
OCF has not only given us the space to practice our faith together, but it's given us friends to last a lifetime. I came to OCF just wanting a community to go to church services with while I was away at school, but now I'm walking away with people whom I call my brothers and sisters. My OCF family was my biggest support system in college. There are many negative influences that can steer you away from your faith during these crucial 4 years, but OCF has helped guide me on the right path and gave me all the tools I needed to succeed and to grow in my faith. But of course, none of this would have been possible without a very special organization. I would like to offer my most sincerest thank you to the Hellenic Foundation. OCF Chicago is one of the many grant recipients awarded thousands of dollars each year. None of our events would have been possible without their generosity and support. On behalf of all of OCF Chicago, I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for believing in us and the importance of our ministry.
Thank you, Hellenic Foundation.
What's really cool about OCF is that it is not just Greek people, it's so many different cultures coming together and coming together under a common ground of orthodoxy. Like here there's so many different Greek, it's not just Greek dances, but there's Arab dances and all different cultures coming together, which is really cool. And a lot of cultures that I wouldn't have interacted with as much without OCF. Bringing everyone together honestly helps us learn from one another, knowing different people from different communities who maybe have different types of meetings or different types of activities that they do with their OCF. It's very validating and it helps you connect with your faith.
It's good to be on a boat. I would have never thought a couple of years ago when we started it that we would be on a boat with 100 students, but because of the generosity of the Hellenic Foundation and the constant support of everybody there, has made this a reality, made it possible. At this event, we have Greeks, Serbians, Ethiopians, OCA, Russians, and that's what OCF is about. It's about including every jurisdiction, including everybody. And so this year, we made a special effort to have our events hosted by different churches. We had one event at a Serbian church, we had one event at an Ethiopian church, we had one at a Greek church, we had one at an OCA church, we had one at a Ukrainian church, and in their own way, they were able to share their traditions with us so that our students were able to be enriched by those traditions. And I'm looking forward to growing as a greater Chicago, Illinois area. The sky really is the limit to how great this ministry can be.
As you just saw in that previous video, we have some very talented, energetic young adults in our community. We are fortunate that there are organizations such as OCF that exist to provide a space like this for our young adults. There's another organization that I would like to mention, the Orthodox Christian Alumni Association, which is also known as the OCAA. The OCAA was created by alumni of OCF at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, with their main objective being to support the students who attend the University of Illinois and are part of the OCF community. The OCF community at the University of Illinois is the largest OCF chapter in the country, and not only OCF and the only OCF chapter to have its own meeting place. It's called the Nika House. At the Nika House, the students have full access for purposes of study, prayer, community, gathering, and most importantly, building relationships that will last a lifetime. I must confess, I'm a little biased. As you noticed in the previous video, that was my son. He's benefited greatly from OCF being involved as its president and executive officer, and through the support of the OCAA. I've personally seen the impact of both of these organizations on my son, and for his friends throughout their college careers. And I am personally thankful that these organizations exist. The OCAA works hand in hand with the OCF chapter at the University of Illinois and supports this chapter and allows this chapter to continue to grow and prosper through its volunteers, its time, and its treasures. The kids at this chapter do not have to pay a dime. They do not have to pay a dime. Now, yeah, I'm getting a little weepy. The reason I'm getting a little weepy is I would be remiss not to mention someone that a number of you probably knew who are in this room today. His name is Mr. Lou Laros. He passed away earlier this year. Lou was a force of nature, a trailblazer, and a founding member of both OCF and the OCAA at the University of Illinois. Among the many hats that Lou wore, the most important one was that of a mentor to his countless students who were there. Without his tireless dedication and his inspiring work ethic, OCF and OCAA would not be the incredible organizations that they are today. May his memory be eternal. Now that I have said enough about me and OCF and OCAA and how it affects me, I'd like you to take a look at the next video that we put together, showing you what goes on.
He's going to talk for 5 minutes. We need to be professional.
This is one of the biggest college campuses in the country, and to find this level of community to make a school that has 60,000 students feel a lot smaller, and we really do. We have a family. To say it's a blessing is a massive understatement.
It's somebody who didn't even grow up super religious. I actually saw them on quad day. They welcomed me right away. I said, "Is it okay if I don't know much about Orthodoxy? I'm curious. I want to learn more." And they said, "Of course, you're welcome whenever." And that night, I gave the house for an annual barbecue, and I made lifelong friends that night. And honestly, through OCF, I've been able to grow in my religion and grow as a person, as an adult. I've learned so many new things about OCF as a whole, Orthodoxy, and even fellowship in judgment.
This OCF makes the school a differentiator. As a parent of 5, I'm encouraging my kids. One of my kids is going here right now. He's attending. OCF is a key reason that I wanted him to come here and that he's having such a good experience, similar to what I had.
It becomes a virtuous cycle of orthodoxy on campus, a beacon of hope and a light.
It's a piece of home away from home. It's reinforcing to see other people your age fasting, going to a Paraklesis service midweek, what have you. There's a chapel for the Nika house. There's also a full-time church with a full-time community near campus with a full-time priest. The synergy of those two things is great, and so this is a piece of home. They almost don't miss a beat. And so often places you go away from college and you don't go to church as often as you might. Otherwise, here it's rewarding, it's comforting, it's easy.
Matthew and I have met on our walk to the first OCF meeting, and 4 years later, here we are interviewing together. So I feel like that kind of speaks to what OCF on campus is. The grants from the Hellenic Foundation has helped us tremendously as an organization. Here, there's like a community on campus. Every Tuesday, there's a discussion. You go, you feel welcome. There's other like-minded people. And it just kind of makes it that much easier to go to church and kind of get up without your mom being like, all right, let's go, like 9 o'clock, let's go, let's get out of here.
In one word, I would sum it up as fellowship. Most other OCFs, you have to meet in a student lounge or a regular classroom. You don't have things like the fire pit. You don't have the ping-pong table. You don't have the TVs that you can use to present, different presentations on Orthodox topics. You can't have, someone come by and cook a pastiche for you that you can share at the meeting. This has been something that we do pretty often, actually. And so, it's just been a great thing to have. And I can't wait to keep using it, honestly.
It really is a second home. I mean, the people I've met here are my new brothers, my new sisters. I've never been homesick. I've been here for 3 years. I've never felt homesick. I met people in OCF here. My boy Yanni right here. It's been an amazing experience the past couple of years.
We're so grateful for the Hellenic Foundation and the efforts they made to bring us together. Without them, we wouldn't have all these opportunities to meet together and just strengthen our bonds through OCF. And we're really grateful.
Hellenic Foundation, thank you. But it's really because of your support and your resources that we're able to continue to not just continue the tradition and opportunities for the students here, but grow it as a result of your support. So thank you.
Yeah, we're living proof that the investment that you make in a community like this will reap dividends because, we have kept ourselves in the church and our children, and we thank you very much for that support.
Go Illini and go Nika House. And please make a point of spreading the word about this program to any college-bound students you know or their parents. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Geroulis, another proud member of the Board of Directors and co-chair of the Grant Committee. Now, you've seen and heard all about the Hellenic Foundation, its history, its mission, its in-home care program, and its initiatives in the community. But tonight, it's all about you, the 2024 Hellenic Foundation Grant Award recipients. It's about your programs and what they bring to the community. It's about you who bring these programs to life with your open hearts and the commitment it takes to get these kinds of things done. And it's about having all of you here together under one roof, breaking bread, having a drink, sharing notes, watching inspiring movies about the work you all do. We know that inspiration is contagious, and we hope that it's contagious tonight, and that process continues to breed even more grant requests. Last year, Judge Tony and I were graciously invited by the HEPA's Chicago Lakeshore Chapter 205 to be moderators at their annual Midwest Hellenic History Tournament. We jumped at the chance. Words can't do justice to what these guys are doing and the program that they have developed. Just take a look at this clip, and I'll catch you on the other side.
If you know anything about being Greek, we're very proud about our history. Greeks invented that, or Greeks did that first, or you know what the derivation of that word is? It's Greek. And so in an America where we are kind of a melting pot, we want to make sure that we remember where we came from. We remember the sacrifices that our grandparents, our parents went through, but also tapping into the spirit of who we are from thousands of years ago. And to me, like, what could be a better way for a young person to learn about their history than doing it in a game show style fashion and win money? What could be better than that?
The first two parts of HEPA's mission is to promote Hellenism and education, and this history competition encapsulates that. Knowing history and the Hellenic history and how it shaped the rest of the world and the things that we see through democracy, society, through medicine, through other technology, and how Greeks played an important part of it. And at the end of the day, with $12,000 in scholarship prize money, students are rewarded for not only the history they learned, but for participating in a fun, exciting competition, and they're rewarded for their successes.
It makes me more proud of my heritage. To bring the youth, to get them interested in the heritage and history of Greece, so that it can be passed on for generations.
I would say I'm not a history buff, but I do like learning about history. I'm just not the best at remembering everything. Our goal is to run 2 rounds first. Yeah.
Since we're like from Greece, and Greece has such like a long history, we need to remember what we've done so we can like be proud of it and like represent our culture in the right way.
And culture is important for a lot of people, but especially for Greeks, because it's just like we have such a deep one that's interconnected to like all the countries in the world.
It's important to know like about where we came from and our history because it gives us like a sense of identity. I feel like this competition, like, it really gave us a chance to like learn more about what we come from and like our heritage.
And a little bit more about each other too.
Yeah.
The Hellenic Foundation has allowed us to grow our reach with this tournament and to engage more kids who want to compete. Without the support of the Hellenic Foundation, we wouldn't have the success that we see today with over 40 kids competing. It's allowed us to grow the brand. It's allowed us to reach more people. And the best part is today we have 2 moderators from Hellenic Foundation that have really immersed themselves and have had a great time asking questions and engaging with the students. And it's just been a great experience all around.
Okay, now, as a father of 4 grown Greek kids, I can't tell you what a thrill that was. What a great way to get kids engaged in learning in general, let alone in their Greek history. And how about that team building in real life and not some animated or digital space? This was the real deal, people. It was fantastic. My question is, why isn't every Greek school and church fielding a team in this tournament? And speaking of Greek schools, the Hellenic Foundation recognizes what an awesome service they all provide to our community. For generations, they help pass the torch of Hellenism to all our kids, including me, and I suspect many people in this room. We also know how challenging it can be to keep up with all the technical upgrades that they need to keep their schools and their curriculums relevant and engaging. So to all the Greek schools and to all the 2024 grant award recipients, I want to say, On behalf of the entire Greek community, thank you for your service and congratulations. Keep up the good work. And know this, that the Hellenic Foundation is there to help. Now, I believe there's beauty to be found in all of the programs here tonight. But I don't think there could be a more dramatic illustration than our 2023 Theater Upgrade Award to the Hellenic American Academy. Seeing is believing, so I hope you enjoy the next video and appreciate the magic of theater as our ancient ancestors did and as much as these kids do today.
Expression through motion and songs and characters, locations is the best way for a child to learn. And this is our goal, our mission as educators, to offer opportunities to these children to express themselves, learn, and in a very fun and interactive way. This is, let's say, a moment of freedom when you speak a foreign language. For me, this is the most important part of what we're doing here. Now, on with the show.
Μα αγάπη, δεν μ' ακούνε. Το βλέπω. Κοίτα να δεις. Κόλλησα το. I am Guido Gerard. I'm the leader of the Cats, and I'm a poet from France. And I like to say poems in the middle of a fight. And I don't personally want to go to war with the mice, but my people do, and eventually we do.
Την οικογένεια μου, κύριε Θοδωρή, και εμείς μείνουμε νηστικοί.
Μην κλαίτε, μου σκίζετε την καρδιά.
Μα πώς να μην κλαίω, δεν ακούτε τι σας λέω, δεν έχουμε ψαροκόκαλα.
Εντάξει.
It
is very rewarding. I'm very fond of speaking in front of crowds. I've learned to change emotions on the spot. Like 1 minute I'm happy, the other I'm sad. And I've learned to not focus like directly on the crowd and let it overwhelm me, because it can get overwhelming when there's a lot of people.
I'm actually playing one of the mice in the play with a leader where we go into war. It's very fun and entertaining, and it also like teaches me new words about how, and like vocabulary, all in Greek. So then I like remember more words.
Do you have any good words?
Diakinet, like it's like what's wrong? Like, yeah. I'm so excited to be in this play and also make my family very proud.
Not all the kids in drama are Greek. There's some kids that are Russian and American, and they're also learning Greek. It's very impressive. They get to learn my language, my culture, my heritage, and sometimes I even get to help teach them it.
I love theater, and I use theatrical practices in my classroom to gain knowledge, and also I'm trying to create a fun, enjoyable environment for my students. And also I think it's a nice way to learn the language, because we use a lot of informal words like idioms, slang, so they learn how to speak as a native speakers.
With the Hellenic Foundation grant, we were able to realize a long-running dream of ours to institute our drama program. We repositioned the curtains and we were able to clean them for the safety of the children. And of course, we had a technician who helped us with lights and sound. We got new microphones, we got new projector lights. We were also able to paint the stage, and we have a brand new dressing room that the kids enjoy so much being there, where we have all the costumes very well organized. And we're very happy to have this grant from the Hellenic Foundation.
Who needs to go to Broadway when you can go to the Hellenic American Academy to watch a great show? I, for one, do not remember having that type of, how can I put it, fun doing Maipimata in Greek school. Now, as Nick alluded to earlier, a crucial mission of the Hellenic Foundation is to support our youth through education. Over the years, we've supported schools in our community, providing tablets, smart boards, software to assist them in learning Greek, and of course, scholarships. If you take a look in your program book, you'll see different schools and churches and organizations that we have supported specifically for the purpose of educating our youth. Tonight, I'd like to highlight one of those organizations that we have assisted by way of scholarships, as well as sponsoring a mentorship luncheon. That organization is the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation. This organization has taken it to the next level in helping our young adults succeed in the world. It's not just about giving money to their students. It's about mentoring and networking. Most importantly, the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation is also about commitment to assisting our young adults in becoming the best version of themselves in all facets of life. Let's see how the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation is opening up new opportunities to these young adults.
I think the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship has a reputation that it is a unifier between the older Greek professionals and the younger Greek professionals in this community, and the ability to connect the two kind of generations over their profession, their future educational aspirations is super meaningful to young professionals like myself.
Mentorship is important to me because it gives me the opportunity to help our younger generation, and it makes the Hellenic community even stronger. There are a number of Pan-Hellenic scholars who I have mentored, who I've become friends with, who I have seen grow, especially within the legal community. And it's almost like a proud parent. These young Hellenes who have participated in this organization and continue to participate and give back to this organization, in my mind, in my eyes, are just thriving.
Finding the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation has really allowed me to see my Greek American community through a professional lens. And being able to forge those relationships has truly shown me that you can be a steward of your church, you can be extremely involved in your Greek American community, and you can be a successful professional. And I always leave different Pan-Hellenic events feeling inspired.
We can see further because we can stand on the shoulders of giants. All of the great problems of life, whether it's love, whether it's science, whether it's government, whether it's economics, they have been memorialized in the text of our culture. So Hellenism is not just only a geography, it's a way of thinking that happily we all embrace. So what you end up doing for Hellenism will determine the future of Hellenism.
Once you realize the richness of this identity, then you can maintain it not only by reading, about it or by studying about it, but just by eating the Greek food or listening to contemporary Greek music, because that will bring you closer to your country and that will keep that identity alive. But you can take a lot of knowledge by the people around you, by mentors who can share with you not their knowledge, but their life experience.
This year's Mentorship Luncheon was a culmination of the invaluable contributions of the alumni, donors, and mentors, all of whom have played an indispensable role in the success of the Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation. To the Hellenic Foundation, we extend our deepest gratitude for your support and belief in our mission of going beyond a scholarship.
So the Hellenic Foundation are like best cousins. Their mission is so buttoned down and so focused, and they help so many arteries in the Greek community that we're privileged to be one of those. The Winter Mentorship Luncheon, and obviously the scholarships that they provide. So they are superb, and we never want to do anything but be best cousins with them.
Cousin Robert, I look forward to seeing you at next week's mentorship luncheon. Thank you for all the work that you do. At this time, I would like to call a dear family friend and a fellow board member to speak on the next topic, Ms. Joanne Stavrakis.
Thank you, Judge Tony. Supporting our churches and their philanthropic endeavors, such as the Philoptochos, is forever in our hearts. It's built into our DNA of Philotimo, friend to thy neighbor, and it's part of who we are. One of our Philoptochos chapters, up at St. Demetrius in Libertyville, found an unlikely neighbor to be in overwhelming need. Who are they? Our veterans. Let's see how they have helped our veteran neighbors.
Two years ago, I dropped off a load of things for the Veterans Closet. There was over 3 blocks of cars with Great Lakes stickers on them and their trunks open. Our lower ranking individuals that put their lives on the line for us on a daily basis, if they have families, it's likely that they are on food stamps and WIC. That's who we help provide for. So their kids don't go hungry and they don't go hungry.
The Midwest Veterans Closet is a one-stop shop rapid response resource for veterans and active duty military who need a hand up with life's basic needs. We are not witnessing the need to support our military tapering off because it grows daily and we have at least 50 people every day waiting to get into the food pantry. Next year, we're on track for over 1 million pounds of food. We provide for veterans who are most of the time transitioning from a shelter or transitional living into their own apartment for a second chance at a new beginning. And St. Demetrius's support has helped carry that load, and we look forward to their continued support. And we're so honored and blessed to be able to give veterans the help that they need as a hand up.
For the past 2 years, we have been supporting the Midwest Veterans Closet as our chapter challenge, not only because we're able, but because the need is there, and they're a meal away from being hungry or homeless, and they're benefiting, and that is a blessing to us. And I think it's our job to take care of them.
Being Greek Orthodox, hospitality
is so important to us. So to know that there's a community out there that's in need of food is close to our hearts. There are several facets on how we've been able to help the veterans. First of all, through donations of good quality items that will help keep the veterans warm, like coats, shirts, pants, blankets, and so forth. Also, we've been able to collect a number of monetary donations that we can help the veterans with and help them build out the location for their new building. The third way is that we've been able to feed the veterans. So we've been able to cook meals and bring meals to the Veterans Closet and help the veterans in that way as well. And when you see the veterans come in to go shopping in these areas and walk out with bags of items that they need to survive is absolutely amazing.
We feed the veterans at least once a month, and it's the main thing. They get salad, soup, the main course, and if we have some dessert, we also take the dessert to them as well. There are people that are fighting for our freedom, and this is something small that we can do for them.
So this is a prepared meal from St. Demetrius Church, Father John, Chef Father John. We call it holy food.
It covers that gap, with a little bit of everything. And it's not just the food that they get here or the clothing that they get here, it's the camaraderie.
It's good therapy. Mentally, it's a lot of support. You don't get the feeling like you're the only one out there, don't nobody care. So it's beautiful.
Our current location is bursting at the seams, so moving to our new location once the building is built, we'll have a 5,000 square foot food pantry. We'll also have a 5,000 square foot furniture warehouse and a commercial kitchen. We are hoping that Father John will be our celebrity chef someday in our commercial kitchen. We can't wait to get there.
We went to a president's meeting in March of all the Metropolis Philoptopos officers. One of the women who is on the Metropolis Philoptopos board took a copy of the tape, went into the executive director and said, "Peter, you have to see this." And then we got a phone call and requested that we apply for a grant. And I don't think that happens much with them.
The Chapter Challenge was a really tremendous and exciting initiative that we undertook, and we really dug right in. And so even though the Chapter Challenge is over, our work definitely isn't done with the Midwest Veterans Closet. With the Hellenic grant that we received and we're very excited about, we are going to increase the number of meals that we're providing to the Veterans Closet from about 125 a month to a little over 300 a month. Before receiving the grant from the Hellenic Foundation, we were pretty much isolated and just containing this program within our own parish community. But now we're very excited to be able to have a pilot program here and then bring it to other local parishes who can help to serve even that many more of our military community.
By having a grant, it's an endorsement to be able to continue this very important work. It speaks for orthodoxy, it speaks for our faith, that we all can work together to do this.
Folks, that's what tonight's all about. Helping, being there for your fellow human being, being able to extend that helping hand. Before we go any further in tonight's program, I would like to take a moment to remember a pillar of the Hellenic Foundation who passed away earlier this year, Mr. George Carcasis. George was a past president and a long-standing board member of the foundation, whose wisdom and guidance contributed to making the Hellenic Foundation what it is today, a beacon of light and hope in our community. May his memory be eternal. At this time, I would like to ask Father Nick Granius, on behalf of George's family, to come up to the stage and accept this token of appreciation from the foundation.
In 1937, the great American author John O'Hara said this famous sentence: George Gershwin died last week, but I don't have to believe it if I don't want to. I've tried that approach with George Carcasis, and it's been impossible. I try not to believe it, but every day I'm reminded of how much I miss him. It's a great privilege to accept this award on the behalf of his family, his wife Rula, his son and daughter, and the grandchildren. In 2008, I had just been ordained a priest in New Zealand, and I came home to do my father's funeral. It was the first funeral I ever did. 6 months ago, I did George's funeral, my best friend's. People told me then and now, that must have been very difficult for you. I can't imagine the emotion involved in performing those funerals. And it was not true. It was the easiest thing in the world, because I considered it an extraordinary opportunity to remember the two best men I ever knew, and to talk about them to people who perhaps didn't know him or didn't know him well. In both cases, I call them heroes whom history never knew. You all know the expression, let George do it. I don't know its real history, but I suspect it was coined 75 years ago, when George was about 15 years old. His father and his brother died the same year. He was 15 years old, and he had to summon his resources and take care of his mother and grow into the man who he became. In the rest of his life, it's an extraordinary compilation of the example of doing things that are important and not ever caring who got the credit. The list of things he did is incredible. He did all the legal work for the founding of UHAC. For several years, he and Leonidas Marinakos and Andy Kopan did all the significant writing for the Greek Star newspaper. The Hellenic Professional Society, the Hellenic Bar Association, PAWS, his church, organization after organization. And he was always subject to the idea, let George do it. And that was usually because it was either difficult, unpopular, or controversial. And he was never unwilling to stand up for what he believed. He had moral courage that is just a staggering example. Finally, his work with the Hellenic Foundation was instrumental. He was there when, in the early years, he started being a member of the Hellenic Foundation when he was a young penniless lawyer. And he was instrumental in the most important financial decision that happened in the Hellenic Foundation. Somehow or other, they managed to use the laws of Illinois and perhaps friendly judges to get tax-exempt status for Hollywood House, the whole of Hollywood House, which was an incredible achievement. And then when it was sold, that enabled them to have the money for these grants. He was also instrumental and as an advocate for the grant program itself. They had to know what to do with these dollars, and he said, we should do grants. And then he researched it. He traveled to the Southwest and talked to the Farah Foundation and figured out how grants were done. So he was instrumental in this whole night. Finally, he worked on the Hellenic Foundation until the last week of his life. Mr. Valesarison, he had an incredible a correspondence the last week of his life that is just one of the most beautiful things I ever saw. And George worked until the last day of his life on the subject that was dearest to him of all, bequeathing to our children a united, powerful, speaking with one voice American Orthodox Church. He dedicated his last years to that, and I promise to do the same on his behalf, and I ask you to join us. Thank you for remembering him.
Father Nick, thank you for those beautiful, beautiful words. This time, we are getting to the final part of our program. I personally invite you to take time, maybe not tonight, but in the near future, to review the program book, to learn more about the incredible organizations that we work with and that are being honored today. As you review the program book and recall tonight's events, ask yourself, can I or an organization that I am part of in some way, shape, or form do something? Remember, it's all about giving and helping. Everyone needs assistance in some form. At this time, I would like to invite my fellow board members and our grant co-chairman, Mr. Nick Geroulis and Mr. William Brannis, up to the stage to present our grant awards for 2024.
Tonight, we recognize organizations serving the people in our community who are recipients of this year's Hellenic Foundation Grant Award. Congratulations to this year's Grant Award recipients, and we love to see you continue to do the work that is making a difference in our community. At this time, I'd ask the designated representative of each organization to stand and line up on either side of the stage along the wall in numerical order given to you. The odd numbers will be on this side, the left side of the stage, and the even numbers on the right side of the stage.
Father Nick.
As we announce each recipient, please come up to the stage to receive your plaque for the award and remain on the stage for a group picture. Afterwards, we invite Bishop Timothy and our board of directors to come up to the front of the stage for pictures as we will be doing all that in hopefully a cohesive and orderly fashion. We ask the audience to hold your applause until the last recipient has been called up. So again, we congratulate our recipients tonight for their achievements. And as we announce your name, please come forward up to the stage. Beginning with 13th District AHEPA Scholarship Foundation Scholarship Program.
AHEPA Chicago Chapter 260, the Peter Economist Scholarship Program.
AHEPA Chicago Lakeshore Chapter 205, Midwest Hellenic History Tournament.
American Farm School Greek Summer Program.
The Annunciation Greek Orthodox Cathedral of Chicago Community Outreach Program and the Technology Updates.
Oh, Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church Kankakee, Office Manager position.
Asia Minor and Pontus Hellenic Research Center, digital education, curriculum, and educator training.
Assembly of Canonical Orthodox Bishops USA, Peace of Mind Training Program.
The Assumption Greek Orthodox Church of Chicago, the Austin Community Outreach Program.
Center for Enriched Living, Individual Assessments.
The Greek American Rehabilitation and Care Center, for rehabilitation equipment.
Greek Orthodox Ladies Philoptochos Society of the Metropolis of Chicago, Feed the Hungry Program.
The Greek Orthodox Metropolis of Chicago, the Family Synaxis Program, Lighthouse, the YAL Conference, the Greek Educational Seminar, the Ministry of Women, and the Project Hope Bus Program.
Hellenic American Academy Music Program Equipment.
Hellenic Link Midwest lecture programs.
Holy Cross Greek Orthodox Church, the Sophocles Greek School.
The National Hellenic Society Heritage Greece Program.
National Hellenic Museum, hands-on history and the online discussions.
Orthodox Christian Alumni in Action at the University of Illinois, Orthodox Christian Fellowship.
Orthodox Church in America, thriving in ministry.
The Orthodox Christian Association of Medicine, Psychology, and Religion, the Ocamper Conference.
The Pan-Hellenic Scholarship Foundation Scholarship Program and the Winter Mentor Luncheon.
Philoptochos Society of St. Demetrius, Libertyville, the Veterans Hot Meal Program.
Saints Peter and Paul Greek Orthodox Church Youth Ministries.
St. Andrew's Greek Orthodox Church, the Edgewater Philanthropy Program.
St. Athanasios Greek Orthodox Church Men's Group.
St. Basil's Ladies at Philoptochos Comfort Care Project.
St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church Elmhurst, the Pythagoras Schools.
St. George Greek Orthodox Church Hot Meals to Go program and the Chicago Bike Project program.
St. Charalambos Greek Orthodox Church Aristotle Day and Greek School.
St. John the Baptist Greek Orthodox Church, Feed My Neighbor program, and Team Belong.
St. Tychon's Orthodox Theological Seminary, Prison Ministry for Chicago.
And Z Life Organization, the Hellenic Disability Community Program.
Oh, wow, look at.
Now a huge round of applause and congratulations to our 2024 Hellenic Foundation Grant Award recipients. At this time, we would ask Bishop Timothy and the rest of the board of directors to line up in front of the stage for some pictures.
That's a great group.
All right. You guys look lovely. We're going to do a little 3, 2, 1 action. Everybody ready for that? 3, 2, 1.
Anna.
Sit tight. Just going to get here. All right. We got it. We got it. Now stay. There's some you still hold over hopping after me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you all.
Alexa te deu agora estamos. Nós assistir somente aprile que
And taste here.
If you were like a kid who wasn't paying any attention, right?
You guys